What's up, guys? She's back. She's feeling better. She's back. She's back. She's back. She's back. I think we're gonna if you guys are free and if you guys will take me back, I think we should go live Saturday night. I don't have to work the next day, and let's catch up. But anyway, somebody hit me in a DM. Um, I guess she had watched my videos about narcissists, and she shared a little bit of her story with me. Um, and the stories are basically always going to be all the same. And someone else also messaged me, and she said, "Does it ever go away?" And no, it doesn't ever go away. When I say it, I mean the scars that are left behind after you experience a relationship with a narcissist. You never forget. It's unlike any other heartbreak. You can deal with, a player, a guy who's just, whatever. But you forget that. You know what I mean? You move on. That was my first marriage, and I don't even think about him. Even though we have two adult children. Unless a penis pump comes in the mail. I mean, he doesn't cross my mind. That's an inside joke for those who were on the live. But anyway, no. And it's a good thing that those scars never go away. It's important because you don't want to repeat that mistake again. And I will say, if you've ever truly been with a true narcissist, because that term is thrown around a lot, I would hear it all the time, in movies, TV shows, or whatever. Oh, narcissistic. Oh, she's a narc, he's a narc. But if you were with the true narcissist, I think that opens up your eyes to a lot of people. The problem with the narc is a lot of people are missing that person. You can't stop thinking about that person. But you don't even know who that person truly is, because a narcissist wears a mask. It's a false self. It's a false person. They play roles. They're a different character with each victim. So what you think you're missing is you're not really missing, because you didn't even know who that person was. It was never real. It was never going to be anything, and that's what you need to tell yourself, and just keep repeating that when you have moments of weakness, of reaching back out to them, or if they reach out to you and try to talk to you again. For them, it's a game. For you, it was your life, but for them, it was a game. All the future faking, all the promises, all of the plans that you thought you were going to have, just, you need to chalk it up to it was never real. And I think for me, coming out of that relationship, that was the hardest to accept. Because when you truly love someone, or you fall in love with someone, and you open your heart to someone and you let down your guard, and for you it's real, and for them it was just a game. It was just like they popped in a Xbox or a PlayStation game and was playing you the whole time. And that's what you have to remember. And what I did is I would go back to emails, text messages, to just remind myself of the pain. The text messages of looking for him or wondering where he was. How did he just drop off the face of the earth? Or even some of the abusive text messages he sent me. And it just brought me back. And I said, oh, whenever I had that moment of weakness. But once I got out of my situation, I was just like done. The pain of moving on is nothing compared to the pain of staying with somebody like that. And even though I'm happily married, even though I have moved on, you always have those scars. There are reminders that might remind me. Like sometimes when I'm driving home from work on a Friday night, I remember what my life was. You know, on a Friday night, I didn't know if he would be there, if he wasn't going to be there, if he was drunk, because mine also had addiction issues. So that was just like worse. And a lot of them do have addiction issues. Okay, so I just that uncertainty, unable to make plans. Whenever my husband planned something, I remember how I always wanted that. Even in my first marriage, he wasn't a narcissist, but he was just very selfish, and it was all about him, and it was all what he wanted to do. And as a woman, sometimes you just want that romantic evening, and he's hanging with the football coaches, or I go home and my house is full of coaches and kids, and I just didn't have that intimacy. So there always are going to be reminders. It doesn't mean that you miss that person. You just remember where you came from, and you never can forget where you came from. And don't feel bad when you come out of it and you move on and you're happy. Don't feel bad. Sometimes, you know, you feel bad when you may have close girlfriends or people around you that are in unhappy marriages or unhappy relationships or single. And sometimes you feel bad because you may be glowing, or you may have just had a nice, weekend with your significant other, your new significant other once you move on. You can't feel bad because when you were balled up in a ball, crying, hurting, stressed out, nobody was there with you. We all deserve to be happy. And you can't let anybody else make you feel guilty for moving on or making positive changes in your life and for being happy. And you deserve happiness. That's something personally, I'm going to be honest with you guys, that I struggle with. Sometimes, you want to dull your happiness, or you don't want to talk about your weekend because you don't want to upset somebody else or seem like you're bragging. Y'all have no idea. I mean, I have shared with you guys, but it was 3.5 years of hell. And in my marriage, my first marriage, although it was not 19 years of hell, it wasn't what it was supposed to be. It wasn't what I deserved. Okay? So you have to appreciate. No, my life is not perfect. No, I'm happily married, but we have, we're not all cuddly all the time, but most of the time we are. But, we're newlyweds too. I just got married in March. But what I'm trying to say is I can't, that's something I'm struggling on. You have to accept that and realize that you deserve better. You deserve to be happy. You should not be coming back to work with horror stories, war stories. If you're in that kind of relationship, you need to get out because you're missing out on life. And when I think about, we can't get time back. I've told, in other videos, one thing you can't get back is time. You can get a new wardrobe. You can get a new apartment. Some people hang on to material things. Oh, I'm not leaving because I don't want to leave my house, or I don't want to give him the car. Your peace and sanity and happiness is more than a material thing. But one thing you can't get back is wasting time with the wrong person. And I was talking to a girlfriend today, because that's one thing. I was sharing with her about my son, and, how I wish he wouldn't waste so much time, with you guys know who. And I just wish I would have woken up sooner. I'm glad that I did, but, and talking about the process is, for me, cheating was the end all. And I never could understand that. I told my mother, I want to talk to a therapist. And I'm serious. Because I want to know, why did I accept someone who was not financially stable? Somebody who did not meet my needs sexually, emotionally. Somebody who I couldn't depend on. Somebody who put me last and I'm putting them first. Somebody who would let me work around the clock, work 5 doubles and barely carry their weight. You understand? Why would I accept that? But then if I find out he cheated, then I was ready to walk away. We and she said she thinks it was, it could have been self-esteem issues. Maybe, I know I've shared with you guys before, I was a people pleaser, wanting to take care of everybody, wanting to, they say Captain Save a Hoe, Captain Save a Bow. I guess that was my name. I can't explain that, but one thing, I guess, with life, you learn. Heartbreak teaches you. These lessons teach us. So don't worry about the scars that you have. I mean, it definitely is hard to trust again. When I met my husband, I went on the first date, and again, I had known him from afar for years, but I didn't look at it. I was so wrapped up in the narcissist. When you when you're so into somebody, you don't see anybody else. I probably passed up a lot of good people, and I was approached many times, but I was loyal. You know what I mean? So when I first met him, I didn't take it serious. You know, he was nice. He was a gentleman. Okay, fine. You know, I'm single. If he wants to take me out, I'll go out. If he wants to spend time, I'll spend time. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I didn't take him seriously, and I didn't believe anything he said, to be honest with you. I thought everything was a lie because I was not going to be fooled again. I made up in my mind nobody was going to fool me, and my husband had to grow on me. I had to, and he grew on me by being consistent. Okay, he grew on me by being patient with me. Because again, those scars, unfortunately, they never leave you. I still watch videos on narcissism. I still research narcissists because, like I've shared with you before, they come in many forms. It could be a friend, it could be a parent. I had a girlfriend who was one. It could be a coworker. It could be a sibling. They come in many different forms. It doesn't have to be necessarily a romantic relationship. But I will say, when I was actively dating after I got out of the relationship with the narc, I think I did encounter another one, but I nipped that in the bud right away. I mean, he got maybe 2 weeks of my time. Before I, because once you deal with one, a true one, you kind of pick up on things. And what I can tell you is, don't ignore the red flags. The red flags are there for a reason. Always trust your gut. A lot of times you may, what a manipulator would want you to think is that, oh, you're bugging, oh, oh, it's you. The narc would always tell me, oh, you're insecure. And I wasn't insecure in me. I was insecure in our relationship because he didn't make me feel secure in our relationship. But they want you to think it's you, that you're the problem. Always trust yourself. If something's not right, 9 times out of 10, it's not right. But unfortunately, when you have trust issues and after you deal with a narc, it's hard. And that's why maybe you should not date until you feel, until you feel a little bit better and more confident, because you'll bring that baggage from that past relationship into your present relationship. But even still, it's something that I think the scars stay with you for the rest of your life. And to be honest with you, that may be a blessing and not a curse, because that will always remind you. So you'll think. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times when you're swept off your feet, it's like the greatest trick the devil ever played. With the narcissist. It's like they just swoop you up in there, everything you thought you ever wanted, and everything's so perfect initially. And then one day the ground just falls, it's just the rug is pulled from under you. So the scars help you, and you pick up on things. I think you become more alert. You become more, that's, I've heard you should never fall in love. You stand in love, because when you fall, you understand? You're not on your feet. Things can go over your head. You know what I mean? So it's a process. It's something that, to be honest with you, like I said, no, I do not miss neither one of them. My first husband or the narcissist, I do not miss them at all. I would not want to go back, even if I was single, lonely, desperate, horny, whatever. But like I said, the scars, and there will be reminders, but like I said, that is to remind you of where you've come from, okay? And a scar, what is a scar? It's a wound that is healing. So that is a sign that you're also healing. You understand? So don't beat yourself up if you're still thinking about them, if you're still obsessing, and don't worry about the new supply or whoever they're with now. Trust me. I read messages from the ex-narc's, his second son's mother. And let me tell you, everything she said in those messages was true, and everything he did to her, he did to me. So trust me, their cycle never ends. It's not like the typical player who, is running through women, in his 20s and 30s, and in his 40s he'll settle down. Got to get the selfie light, y'all. That's not a narcissist. A narcissist never changes. Okay? A narcissist never changes. They never get better. It's the same cycle over and over and over and over again, y'all. So don't feel bad. And if they do change, God bless them. God bless them if they do. Look at this light, y'all. Y'all know this light is thebomb.com. If a narcissist changes, God bless them. It's for the best. You know, you just can't, you're not going back to them. So don't worry about them. Don't focus on them. Focus on yourself. And that's the problem, you know. I don't know if you're that type like I was, that people pleaser, that empath. You're so worried about other people. Worry about yourself and put yourself first. And if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't want to do something, if you don't like something, stand up for yourself. And you'll run those type of people away. They like doormats. They like people that they can control and manipulate. They're all about mind games. So stand up for yourself. You'll run those type of men away. You will run those type of men away, whether it's a player or whether it's a narcissist. You will run them away when you stand up for yourself. And don't feel guilty or bad about it, because nobody feels bad for you. Trust me, nobody feels bad for you. So no, the scars that they leave behind, they never heal. Well, it takes time. You never forget. Let me just say that. You never forget. You never forget. And I think that's the blessing. I think that's the blessing. Okay, but there is happiness out there, and there's life out there to be lived. There is life out there to be lived. And you can stay if you want to, but you're not going to be happy. And by the time you want to move on, you old and washed up. It's the truth. You know, I don't have the energy that I had in my 20s and in my 30s. And I'm only in my early 40s. I don't have that energy no more. You give these people, they suck you dry. You give them all this energy and everything. And then what? You wash it up, breasts sagging. When you lay down, one goes to the left, one goes to the right. I mean, it's the truth. You know what I mean? No, we can't be giving people wasting our time. Do not give anybody more effort than they give you. That's what I'm on. That is what I'm on. I am not giving anybody more effort and more energy than they give me. And that's just what it is. That's Erica, 2018, moving forward. All right? That's what I made up in my mind when I came out of that relationship. And that's just how it is. Sorry. But it can be done. Getting out can be done. Moving on can be done. And you can do it. You can do it. Day by day, second by second, you can do it. I would talk to myself at the red lights. I would definitely talk to myself at the red lights. And I told myself there was no other option, because you could not stay in that situation another day, another second. Okay, nobody on this earth is worth your happiness or your peace. Nobody, I'm sorry. Maybe your kids. I mean, we do whatever for our kids. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, a significant other. Are you kidding me? No. So, it's not that my life is perfect now. My life is much different now, because I made a decision that it was going to be, and I wasn't going to be with anybody who wasn't going to value me and treat me the way that I deserve to be treated. And I will do the same to them. So I don't think you ever forget. The scars always remain. Okay, that's just like if you fall and you hurt yourself. Sometimes we have permanent scars. I have acne scars. You know what I mean? So sometimes, and you think that would make, be a reminder to leave the pimple alone. Some people just, they don't get it. But we're a work in progress, right? Okay, so that's just what I wanted to share with you guys. Have a good night. She's back. Your girl is back.